if you hear me.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Holla If You Hear Me's Newsdrop. Now, you may notice there is an omission tonight, an omission of a person. One of us is missing. I am the kayfabe assassin Andy Nero, and I'm joined, as always, by the only Dave whose opinion really matters when it comes to wrestling, and that's the ring historian, Dirty Dave. As for our humble host, Fraz, I'll be filling in for him tonight, because he is either in Syria with peace talks, or in the Maybush. Either way, he's in a lot of trouble. But yes, hopefully he's doing well, and he'll be back to his usual duties very soon. But for tonight, we're going to crack on with Raw and SmackDown, and everything that happened over the course of the week. But first of all, of course, Davey Dave, how are you, dude? You alright?
I'm hot.
It's flipping hot.
So hot. And the amount of sweat today, yet I've still managed to put 2 pounds on. I don't know how that works.
I've climbed up and down ladders in this heat, and sat in basically greenhouses, moving boxes. I am hotter than hot could ever be hot. So there we are.
This morning I was out on a beautiful building site in that fantastic orange high-vis, and I thought to myself, I don't actually think it's as bad as the yellow high-vis. And then a few moments later, I felt the droplets, and I was like, no, I'm sweating more now. This is terrible. I felt like I was inside a microwave.
The other thing you need to think about is the orange is very attractive to flies and bugs of all kinds, which I found to my problem. A couple of years ago, the port had an infestation of wasps, and they were constantly after anyone wearing orange, and we all wear orange, so it was very fun.
So this is this is really quick though. This is exactly what happened, right? I was walking across where they're going to put this massive car park, and the builders are out there doing stuff. Everybody's in orange. It's all like sweeping, dusting, and everything. But someone today, the day that we were there, decided that would be a good day to plant all the plants. So they're putting all the flowers in, all the bushes in. So what's happening with the wasps and the bees and things? And yeah. So that is literally it. You can imagine me running across this empty car park screaming because I'm being followed by wasps. It was not fun. So yeah, let's move on from that.
Pollen.
Oh God, yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, so we crack on then with SmackDown, our SmackDown recap.
Yes.
As always, we start off with the first show we watched since our last recording, which is SmackDown. This SmackDown opened with one of the coolest openings I've seen for a SmackDown in a long time, with Mr. Cena himself, the never-seen 17. John came out with a rapturous applause, really surprising, rapturous applause from the Montreal crowd, and they were full-on positive. I genuinely thought Bret had walked out and started giving it a bit of that, sort of giving it the big one. But no,
an Iyo Sky impersonation.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Cena, he got on the mic and he talked about how WWE is usually afraid to go to the Bell Centre because of the history, obviously screw job, etc., and everything else that's happened there, and because Canadians generally are lunatics. What is he doing here? Get out of here, you piece of shit! We're literally recording, you son of bitch.
That definitely looked like Syria to me.
Well, he was having a piss.
I don't know. It sounded like Syria as well.
I'm going to leave that in. Screw it.
Why not? There you go. Live broadcast from Syria.
Yeah, broadcast from the Syrian toilets. So he says he's not afraid of the... Yeah, they say that the Canadians are lunatics. That's what I say anyway. But he says he's not afraid of the crowd hijacking the show because they are the show. And that was cool. Anyway, yada, yada, yada. He talks for a bit. And then he hits all of his classic babyface greatest hits, and then Logan Paul comes out and cuts an awesome response promo. I thought Logan killed this.
Logan's on fire at the moment. I mean, he's you sometimes just catch on, and everything you say hits, and he's there at the minute. He's just spot on with everything. So loving him at the moment. Not as a person, but this character. And his ability, fantastic at the minute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, literally, he came out and caught an awesome promo showing that he really is the main event superstar, even if we don't want him to be. For the record, I do want him to be. I think it's time he got a world title in the next 12 months.
Why not?
But because I just think it's worth it now. I think the money is there, the money to make is there. Anyway, he challenges John Cena to a match in a French-speaking country, and then swerves everyone by saying that he's talking about, of course, Paris, les Français, at Clash.
That's right.
And
yeah,
then,
not the Canadian Montreal
not
crowd,
what we thought,
the French
not what we
Canadian.
thought.
Yeah.
And then Drew jumps in from behind and smashes up Cena, and then Cody runs out for a save, and of course, holla holla holla, we're going to book a tag match for the main event between John Cena and Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. I thought really strong opening segment. Typical way of booking your main event. It's a massive trope from all of wrestling. You open with what is going to be your main event, and you build to that main event, build that story.
That's your book. That's your front cover. It makes you want to read to the end.
Exactly.
No, it's really good, and I thought Cena was really good. To be fair, and just to touch on that, obviously there's no spoiler alert for the rest of this program. There's no Brock on SmackDown, but Cena did mention the fact that Brock's back, and although it may be insane of him to say, based on the physical condition he's in and where he's at in his career, he's still not going to back down from a fight. So if Brock does want some, he can come and get some. So I think we're going to get Brock and Cena one last time very, very soon. But not at Clash in Paris.
I don't think Brock will even be in Paris, to be honest with you.
No.
It would take a miracle to get him to go anywhere other than Saudi, and even then it's going to take millions of dollars.
Yeah, I don't. I don't see it either, but we might be surprised. You never know. But I don't think so.
Indeed. Things can surprise us everywhere.
Didn't expect him at SummerSlam, I suppose.
No, we did not. We expected something, but we didn't expect Brock. We expected maybe Rock, not Brock.
Yes, there's a misspelling.
Have you noticed that's the second time they've done that swerve? Everyone's expecting Rock, and we get Brock. They did it after WrestleMania 28 as well.
Yes, they did, didn't they? Well, I think I said on last week's show, it's the third time Brock's come back and attacked Cena. After WrestleMania 28, and then after SummerSlam, when Cena fought Roman Reigns a few years ago.
Yeah.
2023? 22? 23?
22, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because I think it was like the first one after COVID, so they wanted.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anyway, sorry, my man. Let's crack on.
No. Jumping forwards into the main event match itself, by and large, absolutely fine. I wouldn't say it was particularly exciting. It was a very by-the-numbers sort of John Cena, Cody Rhodes tag match. Drew and Logan stood tall by the end of it, but it was via DQ. No, so Cena and Cody won by DQ.
By DQ.
But Logan and Drew stood tall, so if you're doing the math towards the pay-per-view, then we'll have to add that in at some point.
Massively Drew, because he kicked Cody Rhodes through the announce table, which I thought was an awesome spot, actually, using the bottom side sort of bit or the front bit of the table to give him a low Claymore through the table, which was really cool. And looking psychopath as we went off air. Give him a title match. If he has a title match at Clash in Paris, he would have been in all three main title matches at the Clash pay-per-view. So Clash at the Castle in Wales, Clash at the Castle in Bonnie, Scotland, love it, and then Clash in Paris. So interesting. He could be Mr. Clash. Maybe he might win one.
It might be nice if he did, but hey, who knows? Moving on, I just says here, Drew looks like Drew will be challenging for the world title next at Clash, so 2 big matches already booked for Paris, and this was obviously on Friday. More has happened since then, but in terms of what we knew at the time on Friday, we knew that those 2 matches were happening. Logan and Cena and Drew and Cody. Elsewhere on SmackDown, straight after the opening promo was Motor City Machine Guns to Crickets, and I have to re-emphasise this, crickets. There was absolutely no pop of any kind, even from a crowd that really should pop for these boys because they're great wrestlers. And then MFTs, Talatonga and JC Mateo, who looked out of place, would it be fair to say? Maybe. I mean, they looked tough, like they're supposed to, but I just don't like JC Mateo.
I think both teams were dressed in some sort of weird bondage gear, but of very different styles. Tala and JC, doesn't do it for me. I mean, that looked like watching the worst of Taz and Bull Buchanan as a tag team. And Motor City Machine Guns are just not doing it at all for me. I think he's got to stop dyeing his hair for starters. It's too... I find them too fake.
I find them too TNA, to be honest with you. They suited TNA so well as a part of product and as an entity. It suited that sort of we're big fish in a small pond sort of attitude. Now they're tiny fish in a massive pond and they're getting found out. And it's such a shame because, like, if you speak to anyone who's worked with Alex Shelley, I think CM Punk great. Even referenced Alex Shelley as being one of the best wrestlers he's ever met in the ring.
Well, they've both helped train people, and brought people back from rehabilitation when they've been in different stints in different promotions. They've helped, both Shelley and
Sabin.
That's it. Well done. Thank you very much. So they're well renowned. It's just not quite clicking. They're just a bit too niche at the minute. There's not enough about their personas to get enough of the crowd to care. I mean, they're just.
I'd argue they don't really have a character.
Well, that's pretty it. They are vanilla,
generic, default. Warzone attitude era, like, you know what I mean? WWF Warzone default.
But you know what? Yeah, exactly. But if the headbangers get a better pop than you, something's gone wrong because they're clearly better wrestlers. So yeah, it needs some tweaking. I think they need to be heels really, and we need to tweak their characters. Tala and JC is an interesting one because I think what we've got at the moment, the MFTs, my family trees, is Tama Tonga.
You've got Tongaloa, which is the one that's with them at the moment. You've got Tama that's out.
Is missing. Yeah, so Tama is probably the best worker in the ring outside of Solo.
By a long way.
And JC can, but it's not looking good with the way they've dressed him up and how he's sort of been presented. So he's almost been presented as a C-grade person, which isn't great. So for me, you've got this group of people that they're a mile off Solo Sikoa. And no one cares yet. And Tala still looks green as green. As much as I like him, nah, it's just not enough for me to care.
He's hindered by the sheer fact that he's 7 feet tall. Do you know what I mean? It's not easy to move around the way he does and do the things he's supposed to be doing at that height, as has been proven with Great Khali, Andre, Taker even sometimes looked awkward as fuck. Kane has famously never been able to take a bump properly. So
slow him down. Don't overexpose him. Don't get him in the ring too much, and just have him. Especially if you're in tag matches, you can hide him even more, which is easy. He takes the hot tag or cold tag if they're a heel team, I suppose. He smashes a clothesline, a boot to the face, does a couple of power moves, and boom, he's done. There is a market for having an older style big man because no one's doing it at the moment. It's just you can't overexpose it because people just expect more nowadays. And that's fine, but you can fit a Psycho Sid and a Kane in there somewhere as long as it's not overexposed, because it's that Kevin Nash scenario, isn't it? 5 moves of doom. So, and that catches on far too quickly. But yeah, I just think I think he's doing too much, which makes him look weak, and makes him look green, because it makes him look like he doesn't really know what he's doing. So I think they just need to slow him down a bit. Be more just impactful, and JC needs to not wear. When you go on holiday and people wear stuff they really shouldn't.
Speedos.
Well, women do it, guys do it, we all do it, but we pack into stuff when we're on holiday because we think, who cares? JC Mateo is doing that in front of thousands of people every week. It's not good.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's got so much potential. But anyway, we've spent too much time talking about those bondage teams.
I agree, but I don't really know how they go about fixing JC. I don't think there's a way back for it now. I think he's best to just be used in NXT or something, like after this run is done, send him down to NXT to get sort of reacquainted with that sort of thing. But
stick a mask on his head and call him Golga.
To be fair, he did have a mask in Lucha Underground when he was like amazingly over. When he was in Lucha Underground, he was killing people.
Send him to AAA or team him up with that stupid iguana bloke.
Mr. Iguana, you do not sully the good name of Mr. Iguana in my presence, sir. He's got an iguana.
I know. No, he's quality, but
So they ended up winning over the MCMG, and Solo cut a pretty cool promo afterwards where he was slating people. And then Nick Liddell comes out and books a match for that night for Solo Sikoa and Montreal's third favourite son after Brett and Owen, probably I'd say.
well,
Which is
Brett
Sami
and Owen are
Zayn.
from Calgary, aren't they? So actually from Montreal.
Okay, Canada's third favourite son.
So yes, probably.
Yeah.
Well, we can't say
Becky
Benoit anymore, can we?
Well, I was actually not even going to mention Benoit. I was going to go either Kevin Owens or Jericho, but yeah,
Kevin Owens.
You throw the Benoit straight out there.
What about the Mountie? The Quebecers.
So they Solo and Sami got booked into into a match, and then Sami Zayn comes out with a big dub after all of that, which I thought was quite unique. I mean, obviously he's in Canada, so he's gonna do something good. But
interesting, beat the US champ though. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is
built to Raw as well, because there was a segment on Raw as well, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is about building him up, he's going to keep winning. And where's it going to end up? Is he going to get his title match, or is he not? If he gets his title match, I don't think he's going to win at the moment, so he might snap and turn heel. If he doesn't get his title match, he might snap and turn heel. I know the Rumble's in Saudi, but I don't know. I can't see him being a face much longer. I just can't.
I mean, playing devil's advocate, having him go over in Saudi again for like the 15th time now does seem a little bit on the nose. It makes me wonder if perhaps they'll do something similar to what they did with Cena, have someone else win the Rumble and then Sami turn heel at the Chamber or something. Do you know what I mean? Like something of that nature in that build to Mania, so that he can get the title at Mania as a heel from someone.
Yeah. Let's get The Rock back to get him to sell his soul, and that'd be a really good storyline, wouldn't it? I mean, that pays off.
I want your soul. Yeah. So after that we had, I believe, Alexa's birthday celebration with Charlotte, which was kind of adorable. Again, more adorable character work from Charlotte and Lexi. Not much real interest in the whole situation until the one and only Chelsea Green, another one, well, let's just say Canada's favourite daughter, other than May.
Please.
But Chelsea came out with the Hervis, and Nick Liddell come out once again and booked another on-the-fly Chelsea versus Flair match, which obviously Flair won. It was a good match. She won with the figure eight.
It was a good match.
Chelsea got face planted into Alexa's birthday cake, which I thought was quite funny.
Always good.
Always good with that sort of thing.
And fresh off WWE Unreal, where their episode, predominantly with Green and Flair, I thought was a fantastic episode actually. So really good, fresh in everybody's minds. People care about them, so yeah, it worked. And she's from Vancouver, so a good match for Chelsea Green in Canada.
The only other moments that I felt of note on the show were Cena and Killing's interactions backstage, where they did the Groucho Marx brothers sort of thing, which was quite comical. DIY and Street Profits getting into it and having a great little promo segment. And then a taped promo from the White Six Boys where Joe Gacy showed he's apparently forgotten everything he learnt in NXT on how to deliver a creepy promo. And Dexter Loomis proved once again why he has never been given the mic. Do
you know what? I can't even remember that.
It was not memorable. It was awful. Howdy said something, then Gacy, then Loomis, then I think even Nikki spoke, and then it was Rowan at the end who delivered a bit of a decent line. But honestly, there's a reason Dexter was a mute during the NXT 2.0 days, and Joe Gacy, who was really, really good on the mic before, he was a really, really creepy sort of cult leader gimmick, and now he just seems like he's just forgotten it all.
All right, I'll go back and watch that. Missed that.
So I identified something. What matches were booked for SmackDown?
Technically,
there's only one match.
Only the Motor City Machine Guns and the Teller and JC match. Tag match.
So, literally, if you believe in kayfabe, as we all of course do...
Yes, of course.
They turned up to that show with one match booked.
Still pretty much sold out the arena.
But it's just like... There's having a trope, and then there's ramming that trope home to to death, and they did that on SmackDown. They just booked everything on the show in the show, and it was just like, what on earth is going on? So, but yeah, that was just a little thing I noticed.
Maybe it's a Canada thing.
Yeah, maybe it is a Canada thing. Maybe they don't like booking in advance.
Oh no, because they don't like the crowd taking over the show if they know in advance.
Very good, very good, very good. So, overall thoughts on SmackDown?
On a whole, yeah, pretty fun. So, I mean, like you say, the opening segment and the main event, fantastic. Great interaction from all four of those guys, and a good match, good solid tag match, good main event match. The rest of the show, all right performances. You know, Zayn and Sikoa is probably the next good match. I enjoyed Flair, Chelsea Green. I thought it was good for Chelsea Green to get a decent match against someone of really high caliber, especially in Canada. Again, fresh off the Unreal
Even if she didn't
program.
Win.
Yeah, she said, book me every day as long as you know. I don't care if I lose as long as I'm booked, because then I'm getting paid. So, but yeah, real work to do on those Motor City Machine Guns and Teller and JC and the MFTs.
Yeah, I think
I love
maybe
Solo.
Going back to the MFT situation, I wonder if they're just sort of spinning their wheels until Tama can come back, because Tama and Tongaloa are excellent. They are really good together. The Gorillas of Destiny are fantastic.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's like we've got, you know, if people thought last year people were calling it Bloodline Timu and that sort of stuff, weren't they? Well, I don't know what we've got this year, but this is lower than that. So something needs to happen. Yeah, I mean, something needs to happen, and it's a shame because Solo's getting stuck with it.
There was no sign of Jacob Fatu on this show either.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe he can't cross the border.
I hadn't thought of that. Man has been inside. Man is a federal felon, so
because Jimmy wasn't there either. I don't think.
Yep, true.
Pretty sure.
Yep, they're not allowed to. Yeah. But Jay was in Canada.
I don't think Jay's. Is Jay got more DUIs than Jimmy? I thought it was Jimmy. And maybe it's Jay. I don't know. Well, there you go. If anyone can tell us, put it in the comments, like, subscribe and all that jazz, and tell us who's got more DUIs and who's been arrested more, Jimmy or Jay?
They are both famously bad when it comes to drinking and being the responsible driver.
Under the influence of something whilst driving, anyway.
No, indeed. Right, shall we move on to Monday Night Raw?
Yep, go for it.
Yeah, okay. So, talking points from Monday Night Raw. I haven't really structured this in any kind of way, but I will open with the opening promo,
it if you want.
which again, the opening promo set up the main event, so
yes.
I guess we'll start there. The opening promo from Punk was pretty solid. Good response from the crowd for Punk. Good response, better response, if anything, for LA Knight. Yeah,
LA Knight.
Could not be more over at the moment. But for me, the highlight of the whole situation is Steiner Math 2.0.
That was, I put that on group, didn't I?
Bron Breakker is killing it at the moment with his whole persona, and I love it.
Oh. And that was off microphone. He's just shouting at the camera after everybody's finished talking. He's just like, "What are you going to do? You're 47, and you're 40. Combined, you're like over 100. What are you going to do? I'll kick both your asses." You know,
it's such a Scott thing to do.
But no, great. I mean, again, look. I think just before we start recording, I actually highlighted that Raw and SmackDown are identical in terms of shows, except for there's an additional match on Raw. Same segment, same start-up as SmackDown. You know, slightly older gentleman comes out and starts to show a great promo, gets interrupted by a younger gentleman, and then, you know, they team up to take on two baddies. So similar situation to SmackDown, but yeah, it's a great start to the show. It's a massive tag match, and boom, we've got Punk and LA Knight versus Braun and Bronson. And how amazing was Paul Heyman? I mean,
again, Paul,
fantastic.
Money.
So good to set that match up. So no, it's great to see.
Everything that they're doing wrong with JC, they're doing so right with Bronson Reed, the Shula Fowler, and the Tribal Thief. I fucking love that persona. It's so fun. It's so gangster. There is nothing. I swear, there is nothing more gangster in this world than stealing a dude's shoes.
Stealing his shoes and then not only doing a promo in front of the crowd that he actually had a recorded promo, like like an old school NWO promo where it's like him backstage talking, pre-recorded promo back in the day during Raw, and yeah, it was great. He actually said Shula Fala, didn't he?
Yeah, Shula Fala. New Jack and Mustafa used to jack people's shoes at the end of matches in ECW. That's how gangster that is.
God, that's taking me back.
Yeah.
I like it. It's
New
good.
Jack, man.
So
It's
good.
excellent. After the opening segment, obviously having booked the main event there, had they booked the main event at that point?
No.
Yes.
He came out and booked. What's his name?
Oh, of course, yes.
Came out
so
and booked
they
that.
basically challenged, and then that was that.
Yeah.
So after that, I think I'm right in saying it was
AJ.
Dom and El Grande, Mr. Kaiser, and AJ and Dragon Lee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty solid match. Yeah, Dragon Lee and AJ Styles pretty solid, to be fair. Entertaining. Bit of an advert for AAA.
Mm-hmm.
And El Grande Americano, Dom, and there was a little Judgment Day disagreement before the match back in the clubhouse because Dom brought El Grande Americano in and nobody really liked that. So again, the dissension sort of continues. Will Dom leave? Will Dom create some group with all the El Grande Americanos, as he is the greatest ever living luchador?
Dominic Mysterio and the Megazord.
Yeah.
I do think there is going to come a time when they're going to all be in the same room at the same time. Chad, Ludwig, and Pete Dunne, and they're all just going to be pointing at each other, a la Spider-Man, and it's going to be brilliant.
That's got to be a Rumble
to
spot,
happen.
surely.
It's got to be It's got to happen at some point.
You imagine
in
if
fact,
like,
you know what? I'd be okay with them being in a War Games team. Dominic and
funny.
the El Grande Americanos versus someone.
Judge-
Do you know what I mean? AJ Styles.
Judgment Day and someone else, and AJ Styles.
AJ Styles and Triple H. Do you know what I mean? Just like something stupid like Mr. Iguana, El Vecchio, and
that'd be
Crazy
awesome.
Clown or whatever it is.
Or they all do a Mick Foley from '98, where in this year's Royal Rumble, hypothetically, let's say they have 40 people in it instead of 30, and they all come out as Chad Gable, Pete Dunne, and Ludwig Kaiser. They all get eliminated, and then later on in the show, they all come out as El Grande Americano. So they do double
of El Grande Americano.
Yeah, they do double duty. That'd be hilarious. Anyway,
That'd be brilliant.
Yes, good match though. Good match.
So good match. Tag match obviously won by the steel plate in Dominic's new mask, which he's using now, which I think is pretty cool.
Well, it's good. He can take it on and off.
Yeah,
he doesn't get stuck on the way down. Yeah,
exactly. So, but yeah, of course. But I like the fact that he's wearing a mask. It pays sort of an homage to his dad, sort of an homage to all of his uncles and stuff. So I'm all good with a mask.
No problems with that.
Yeah, really good match. Obviously one with the
could lead to an El Grande Americano scenario where different people come out as Dominic Mysterio. But anyway, we're going wild now.
Yeah, we're fantasy booking the fuck out of this, right?
Yeah.
So what happened after that? It was
women's
match.
Because we mirror SmackDown, so we go to a Sami Zayn match.
Sami Zayn, the Syrian brother. Sami last week on Raw when Rusev and Sheamus were having their Donnybrook.
That's right.
Sami got caught in the crossfire, and obviously this week he faces Rusev, and obviously they had a little backstage where Sheamus was like, "Don't get in my way," blah 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 blah, being all intense, and Sami was like, "I'm not going to." And then they had their match. I believe, am I right in saying that Sami went over, or did Rusev go over? Or was it a DQ? No, it was a DQ because Sami came out and interrupted, didn't it?
It was a DQ, and Zayn, yeah, Christ, who came out to us at Zayn? The MFTs came out through the crowd, attacked Zayn, and while that happened, Sheamus came through the crowd the other way, and then
Rusev.
Him and Rusev started fighting. Yeah, so then they both sort of fought off separate ways in the arena. But yeah, that's boiling up, isn't it? So no, it's good, and a lot of exposure for Sami. On SmackDown beating the US champ, on Raw having a solid match with Rusev. All right, it's no contest, but you're showcasing Sami Zayn a lot at the moment. So where are we going with this?
Exactly. Following that, did we get our information about Naomi being not medically cleared in the lead up
That
to
was right at the
Iyo
top of the show.
versus-
Yeah, actually,
Oh, was
yeah.
it right at the top?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Michael Cole came and said it on the mic as Raw went on air, and then they mentioned it about 100 times as the show went on. But yeah, so they
Real
had.
or
Don't know. Like I said, if Jimmy's not
sure.
allowed in Canada, maybe Naomi's not.
maybe that's
But
why.
then
No,
you'd
maybe the fact that she's not going to go anywhere without Jimmy, sort of thing.
Maybe. Then why book it in the first place? You knew if you were in Canada that week.
So who was she booked to face? Was she booked to face Iyo?
Iyo, yeah.
Unless she
And they
actually
gave
is
her-
injured.
And then, yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah, so we got like a little backstage segment with Iyo and Judgment Day, Perez and
Perez and Raquel. Yeah.
Raquel, and then a little bit with Rhea.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
Was this when they had the Kabukis come and sort of talk to her, or was that?
Oh
later?
yeah. So everybody got a little bit of backstage. I think that we're going to have to separate away from Iyo and Rhea, as great as it is, and I predict that the Kabuki Warriors are going to turn on Iyo Sky and turn heel. So she can go off and just sort of conquer them, and Rhea will go off and conquer the Judgment Day girls, and then we can bring those two back together for finally they can have their one-on-one match again, and someone will actually maybe Rhea will win, maybe Rumble, maybe WrestleMania, not sure. See how we go.
Who else was on this show with regards to the Kabukis was one young Bailey, who had a very odd segment where she was talking about how she was done, how she was over it all, and weird sort of laughter at the end. I wonder maybe if she's going to pair back up with the Kabukis, possibly, to take out Iyo, because don't forget last time it was Iyo and the Kabukis taking out Bailey in the lead up to Mania that year. Now it could be Bailey and the Kabukis taking out Iyo.
Possible, very well. Possible. But yeah, Bailey and Asuka are definitely turning heel, and I'm sure the Kabukis, yeah. So the original Damage Control, back together.
Maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, no, good.
Whilst we're talking about Bailey, let's segue into the match itself. Iyo Sky and Roxanne Perez. Good match, half decent match. It was okay.
Yeah,
interesting that Roxy won. Big shine on her.
Now, but you see, I really like her. Now, watching Unreal has really highlighted how much I've sort of missed her, because she actually had a really good role in the Rumble, and she was in the Elimination Chamber, and then it went a little bit quiet, and then she comes out after Raw, doesn't she, on after WrestleMania on Raw, and then she builds, and then boom, all of a sudden, it's like we were waiting for the perfect storyline, and the Judgment Day storyline came on, and it just made me, I just kept thinking in my head that she's a bit of a newbie, not really sure, and then I watched Unreal again the other day, and I was like, nope, yeah, she's awesome, and it just made me appreciate her more in this match, and actually when she won, I was like, yep,
makes sense.
I can handle that, as much as I like Iyo, that's fine, don't always have to win, so it's fine.
Roxy is excellent, to be fair. She's one of the few people that are two-time NXT Women's Champion. There aren't many, and she's one of them.
That's a good point, actually.
She's very well liked, and obviously a product of Booker T's school. She's got everything, and talk about taking an opportunity and running with it. I mean, Liv gets injured, and all of a sudden, nobody's really talking about Liv. The only person talking about Liv is Raquel, and I mean that in terms of everyone. No one's missing Liv as much as they thought they might, because Roxy's killing it.
I mean, I'm missing it visually.
Yeah, absolutely, but Roxy's not horrendous to look at.
Oh God, no. It's just there's something about the girl next door, Liv Morgan. But yeah, no, absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. Slotted in, no problems. Great in the ring. Awesome little character work she's been doing the last few weeks. Interesting that I think she's got far more character and personality than some of the people she's in the ring with sometimes. But yeah, no, really good, and much better than the following women's match.
Becky and Maxxine. Now, I know obviously Maxxine gets a lot of hate for being green as green, but I actually really like Maxxine. She's so she's trying her fucking hardest, and you can tell that she's building and improving week on week, month on month. She's getting better. Is she ever going to be Bull Nakano? Alundra Blaze? Hell no. But she's getting to a point now where she can actually put on a workable match, and that's half the job. You know?
It's not her fault she was put in that position, but I was a little bit disappointed. I thought, right, okay. Last week, Natalia challenged, knowing that they were going to be in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Becky says, no, I'll face you instead. I just thought, as they were in Canada, Natalia could, something could have happened at the end that could have just been a bit more to actually set up a match for her and Becky, because I think Becky beating Natalia for the Intercontinental title only needs to be a Raw match. That's a big win, and then she's stacking up wins over these big opponents. But there's still plenty of time, we'll see. But for me, that was a bit of a throwaway match.
Did Natty and Becky not come face to face after the match or before the match or at some point? I thought they had a confrontation.
Yeah, but not like when you just
not
want
a big one. Yeah,
I want to come out, save the day, fire something up, get a bit of a feud going. But it was all just a bit. So I don't know. We'll see how we go. But again, Natty just gets shafted, doesn't she? So, and she is a great worker. So,
and she's a hell of a shaft. Right, moving on.
And there's the main event.
In terms of before we get we'll talk about the main event before I want to talk about the other thing. But yeah, main event itself. No, because it's not actually related to the episode as such. It's related to what's going on in the world, as it were. But the main event was really good. I thought Vision versus Punk and LA Knight.
Yes.
Sort of all broke down after a while into chaos, and it ended up with Jay and everyone coming out, and Roman was there. Did Roman come out or not?
No, it was just Jay.
No Romans.
Yeah, it was Jay. It was obviously Seth came out to cause the chaos. Yeah. Jay comes out, and then you're pretty much getting your match set up for Clash in Paris.
Clash in Paris is confirmed as being not the bore fest that we were perhaps expecting, but a fatal four-way between CM Punk, LA Knight, Jey Uso, of all people, and Seth freaking Rollins. I am very surprised that they're involving Jey Uso in this. I really thought it might have been a Roman situation or just a triple threat, but I'm loving the fact that they're throwing Jey in. It shows that they're not quite done with the experiment. They get that he's got a name now. He's the world heavyweight champion, Jey Uso.
Yeah.
He's still over as fuck. He can still do his... the ring if he wants to, but
everything that got him to the point where they looked at him and thought, let's give this a punt, is still there. It's just we probably don't have enough end product to carry the belt, but everything else is fine. So he can still be. I'm absolutely fine with him still being a main eventer. Absolutely fine with him still cropping up. Love the fact that actually he was the big name to come out to make the save instead of Roman Reigns. So that means that when Roman Reigns isn't there, we have got this, and he doesn't. And he doesn't feel like a Timu Roman Reigns, because he's a completely different character and a completely different style of person. So it's good. I really enjoyed it, and what a fatal four-way that's going to be. That sort of reminded me when they said it. It reminded me of the Backlash one from 2007. In terms of quality of people. When you got, I remember that one was Orton, Edge, Cena, and Michaels. And it was just a really, really good. You just think, oh my god, actually, who is going to win this? Now, obviously, Seth's only just won the title, so you probably don't think he's going to lose. But you never know. All three of those guys are so over. We've said the phrase "hot potato" before. It could be done. We'll see. But whatever happens, a really good match, I think.
Yeah, I think no matter what happens, we're guaranteed a good match. I think Punk will book the whole thing. And be in control of what's going to happen.
Judging by the job he done on the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, exactly. He knows multi-man matches. He enjoys booking them, and obviously you'll have people, probably someone like Bobby Roode, doing the production.
Yes, I reckon. I would think so. Yeah.
I think that's going to be a hell of a match. The only other last thing I wanted to mention is, again, like I said, not specifically to do with the show, but someone who was absent from Raw this week, generating a lot of buzz on X. Trending was the hashtag #WeWantCross. Throughout the entire show was the #1 trend worldwide, not WWE Raw, like it normally is. Karrion Kross and Scarlett got released at the weekend, much to a lot of people's frustration. And fair enough, because they probably shouldn't have been released. Where was their story going with Sami? Nowhere, truthfully. But this is two people who are excellent at what they do and totally deserved a much better opportunity to show what they were capable of. I think the words Tony fumbled get bandied around a lot recently with people like Ricky Starks and Ethan Page. This to me is a Hunter fumbled. He has fumbled Cross completely since the start of his tenure. I will not be surprised to see him end up in TNA or AEW and doing amazing things.
It's weird, isn't it? Because Hunter brought him back when Vince brought him up to the main roster, and Vince sort of screwed him over, put him in a stupid helmet and all that. Yeah. And the fact that he's booked for SummerSlam and then 2 weeks later he's... I mean, it's weird. I literally read just before we started recording, so we're recording on the 13th. It's about 7 o'clock tonight. I don't know what time that would be, American time, but he's come out and said he was given a contract offer and he was given 24 hours to say yes or no, and if he says no, that will be taken off the table. And he said, I just need to know how you come to that conclusion of that contract, the finances and how it's going to work and what you want from me. And they said, no, we haven't got time for all this, we're not going through all that. So he said, well, all right, well, I can't invest in, can I? And then they turned around and said, okay, we withdraw the offer. Very odd behaviour.
I think that's more of a Nick Khan decision, to be honest with you, and I think that will be blowing back massively in their faces, because he is going to go to TNA or he is going to go to AEW, and he's going to do a lot of good things. And people could shit on his inability to take a bump. Bullshit. He took tons of bumps in those matches with Sami. Get Scarlett back on the mic. Absolutely, get Scarlett back on the mic, and let's get Killer Cross back to what he should be. Not only that, but he's also got a book tour. He wrote a book last year, and he's doing a massive book tour, international book tour. So
he can do an international book tour. He can do a Jesse Ventura interpretation, and he can wrestle. What more do you want?
Yeah.
And he can do promos. Yeah. I find it all very odd. It's like... I mean, I can't even imagine what another scenario where you just let someone go who's so over. I just find it, so something's going on, and I think you're right. I think it's out of Triple H's hands. I think we're starting to see this year that maybe Triple H doesn't have the power that we thought he had.
I think he's, I don't know. It's hard to say really, but
I can't see that you'd be happy with him going.
No, I don't imagine so, because he saw a lot of himself in Killer, but... Who knows, mate? At the end of the day, we ain't going to find out until Cross does some sort of shoot video or something with
90 days, and then I think
Conrad
they can
Thompson or
say
something.
what they want. Yeah.
But that pretty much wraps up our two recaps. I thought it was a half decent week in wrestling.
Good. Good shows. Canada must be pleased.
I think they are probably overjoyed with their performances. But if you would like to leave your thoughts on the week's wrestling, and please do so, we appreciate any and all comments we get. Drop a like, a subscribe, stick your notification bell on, and drop us a comment. And we will be back doing this once again next week for another news drop.